The chandeliers glittered like constellations above the Chalet Sol Grand Ballroom, casting a warm golden glow over a sea of flowers, silk-draped tables, and 1,000 expectant faces. Outside, crisp air of a Seoul evening was buzzing with flashing cameras, reporters murmuring into microphones, and fans pressing against security barriers just to catch a glimpse. Inside, the hum was softer, an undercurrent of admiration, curiosity, and the kind of awe that only attends a moment the entire country has been waiting for. Park Eun Bin and Rowoon, the couple whose love story had captivated millions, had just stepped into their reception as husband and wife. What awaited them was not just a celebration, but a spectacle of generosity and grandeur that would leave them, and everyone present, breathless. The first thing that caught their eyes wasn't the towering wedding cake or the lush roses spilling from crystal vases, but a section of the ballroom cordoned off by velvet ropes. Beyond it stood tables upon tables, each groaning under the weight of exquisitely wrapped gift boxes and envelopes. Some were bound in gold ribbon and embroidered silk cloths. The envelopes, sleek, understated, but heavy, were stacked in neat towers. There was a moment, just a heartbeat, when the couple paused. Eun Bin's eyes widened in disbelief. Rowoon let out a half-laugh, the kind you give when you're too stunned to form words. Whispers rose among the guests. "That's just one part of it," someone said. "The rest is in the gift room." This wedding had been dubbed by the media as Korea's social event of the year months before it even happened. Ever since the couple's engagement announcement, the press had been relentless. Fans had been ecstatic, and industry insiders had been trading rumors about the guest list. Security measures were unprecedented, invitation cards embossed with individual serial numbers, NDAs for staff. Security teams sweeping every corner of the venue. Even the chefs preparing the 7-course banquet had to submit their phones before entering the kitchen. Everyone knew that this wedding would draw Korea's most influential people, but no one anticipated the magnitude. The decor alone could have been the subject of a magazine spread. Ballroom was transformed into a floral dreamscape, with white orchids cascading from ceiling installations, hydrangeas in shades of blush and ivory framing the stage, and peonies set in crystal bowls that caught the light like gems. A soft string quartet played as waiters glided between tables, serving champagne imported from a small vineyard in France known to supply only royal clients. At the center of it all stood the couple, their attire the epitome of timeless elegance, Park Eun Bin in a custom-made gown by a Parisian designer, Rowoon in a perfectly tailored black tuxedo with satin lapels. Then came the arrivals, each more dazzling than the last. Lee Min-ho was among the first to step onto the red carpet, his tailored navy suit drawing as much attention as the rare luxury watch he later presented to Rowoon, reportedly worth several hundred million won. Kim Soo-hyun arrived shortly after, carrying with him a bespoke wine collection, each bottle dating back to a pivotal year in the couple's lives. When BTS members appeared, the crowd outside erupted into cheers. They gifted a handcrafted art piece made by a globally acclaimed artist, symbolizing eternal love and unity. Each arrival seemed to raise the temperature in the room, and the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. But the most magical moment in this part of the evening came when the gift room doors were opened for the couple. The room, lined with mahogany shelves and softly lit chandeliers, filled floor to ceiling with presents. There were diamond necklaces resting in velvet cases, crusted tea sets, paintings by celebrated Korean masters, a pair of tickets for a world cruise on a luxury liner, complete with a private suite. A brand new white sports car gleamed under a spotlight, a satin bow draped across its hood. Park Eun Bin brought her hands to her mouth, eyes glistening, while Rowoon shook his head slowly as if to say, "This can't be real," and then whispered, half joking, "We might need a bigger house." The speeches began as dinner was served. The aroma of truffle risotto and seared wagyu beef filled the air as Eun Bin stepped up to the microphone. Her voice trembled, not from nerves but from emotion. "Tonight is more than I ever dreamed," she said. "Sing at Rowoon. To see so many people we admire, respect, and love gathered here, and to feel such overwhelming generosity, we are truly humbled." There was a murmur of agreement across the room, and several guests dabbed at their eyes. The couple's gratitude was palpable, disbelief genuine. As the first part of the evening wound down, there was still an unspoken promise in the air that more surprises were yet to come. Rumors circulated about unexpected attendees, gifts still hidden from view, and a particular item whispered to be unlike anything ever given at a Korean celebrity wedding. When the doors to the main hall closed for a short intermission, the anticipation was almost unbearable. When the lights dimmed and the music swelled again, the energy in the ballroom shifted. The second half of the reception was about to begin, and with it came the revelations everyone had been waiting for. Cameras were discreetly adjusted. Journalists poised their pens, leaned forward in their seats. The master of ceremonies, his voice smooth and resonant, invited the couple to the stage. What followed was not just a continuation of the evening, but a crescendo, a series of moments that would etch this night into Korean pop culture history. The full guest list, kept under the tightest secrecy until now, was finally revealed. Among the attendees were political figures such as the daughter of a former president, who had flown in from abroad to attend. There were CEOs from Korea's most powerful conglomerates, Samsung, Hyundai, CJ Group, each of whom brought gifts that seemed almost symbolic of their empires: a bespoke home theater system, a limited edition electric vehicle, custom-designed kitchen outfitted with the latest technology. Famed directors who had worked with the couple on their most beloved dramas were present, their congratulations heartfelt and personal. Icons sat alongside K-pop royalty, while international stars from Japan, China, and the US added a cosmopolitan sheen to the gathering. It was the unexpected guests that truly set the room buzzing. Legendary actress, long retired and unseen in public for over 15 years, walked in on the arm of a young protégé, her smile as luminous as it had been in her heyday. Gasps followed her to her table. Moments later, a reclusive billionaire, whose name was synonymous with both philanthropy and mystery, appeared, dressed simply but exuding quiet power. And then, scripted for maximum impact, a representative from a Southeast Asian royal family entered, presenting a gift wrapped in silk embroidered with gold thread, its contents unknown at the time. The highlight of the evening came when a staff member wheeled in a massive object covered in deep red velvet. The murmur in the hall grew louder. Eun reached for Eun Bin's hand, she gripped it tightly. The makeup paused for dramatic effect before pulling away the cover. Beneath it was the title deed and scale model of a penthouse apartment in Seoul's most prestigious district, gifted by one of Rowoon's longtime mentors in the entertainment industry. The apartment, valued at over $7 billion, about $5.3 million US, was described as a home for your future together, built on the foundation of love and respect you've shown the world. Park Eun Bin's composure broke, tears streamed freely as she covered her face. Rowoon bowed deeply, again and again, able to find the words. The generosity didn't end there. A portion of the cash gifts they received, rumored to total in the hundreds of millions of won, was pledged to several charities close to their hearts. The announcement drew applause and further cemented the couple's reputation not just as stars, but as people of deep integrity. Days following, handwritten thank you notes would be delivered to every guest, each one personally signed by both Eun Bin and Rowoon. Behind the scenes, staff would later share how intense the operation had been. Security had been tighter than some political summits. Certain gifts were transported under armed guard. The logistics of cataloging, valuing, and storing each item took a team of specialists. And still, the most talked about moments were not the extravagance itself. Expressions on the couple's faces, those unguarded flashes of awe, gratitude, and disbelief. The night drew to a close. The couple exited the ballroom hand in hand, illuminated by the soft glow of the chandelier light spilling into the hallway. Outside, the paparazzi lights flared like a second set of stars, and the crowd erupted into cheers. Rowoon opened the door to their waiting car, helping Eun Bin inside with the same tenderness he'd shown throughout the evening. The door closed. The car pulled away. And just like that, the night was over. As everyone who was there would later agree, this wedding was more than a celebration. It was a gathering of Korea's most powerful, creative souls, a night when the boundaries between celebrity, politics, business, and art dissolved into one dazzling tableau. Park Eun Bin and Rowoon. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one written not just in love, but in the shared memory of a night that no one will ever forget.